Hey there, Bloomers and friends. Rev Kev coming to you from the office on our regular BloomTube channel. I am excited to report to you that the service last Sunday, Women of Bloom, helping us honor Women's History Month, the women being in charge of the worship service and presenting everything there. It was a fantastic morning. It was, way beyond anyone's dreams how wonderful it was. And I don't think that I'm overplaying that. There were highlights from beginning to end. And it was a tremendous gathering of our congregation and receiving the gifts in the sense of leadership and worship, creative worship that the Women of Bloom created for us. The singing, the praying, the leadership that went on was the hymns that we sang. All of it was great. So what I can say is it was really a wonderful time, and everybody embraced it so well. I didn't expect there to be opposition or anything, but I just didn't. I guess I was kind of surprised at how wonderful I thought it was. I have to say I was a little nervous. And I can be a little antsy sitting in the congregation instead of being up front. I'm kind of sorry for the people sitting next to me, although one mic was on one side of me, so that shielded the other people. But one of the things I did, which probably was a little distracting to people, is I took some photos and posted them on my Facebook page during the service because it was just so fantastic. So if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you can see those there. I think Carl is going to pick some of those up for Bloom Notes, and so you can see some of those photos that'll be included. So that's a great thing. I say that having also read recently on Facebook in a group that I'm a part of, that's a closed group for clergy professionals, where someone talked about, a woman talked about how while she was preaching this last Sunday, someone got up and walked out because she's a woman preaching. And she's pretty sure that was the deal because of some various indications, but that's, a situation that happens. And then there was responses. There were responses from other people who said some of that had happened to that themselves. And also, it was interesting to note that 3 people noted that people had walked out of a service for them. 3 clergy persons noted that people had walked out of a service for them because they were gay. And they knew that was very specific. And I did post that a Me Too moment that has happened to me 3 times in Bloom in our 16 years. And it is something where it is very clear that after, in one case, it was I acknowledged the anniversary with my husband, someone got up and walked out. And on another case, I talked about something and 2 people got up and walked out. And then there was another situation where we were talking and 2 other people got up and walked out. So this is over 16 years, so it's not like it's something that happens all the time. But it is something that will happen. And whether someone is a woman or someone is gay, it is just amazing that there are still people that think that the role of a preacher ought to be, that of a straight man. And all the great women preachers I know, and all the great gay preachers I know, and all the great gay male preachers and that I know, I think I said that twice. What I mean is all the straight preachers that I know, straight male preachers. That the fact of the matter is that it's a small part, but it still happens. I'm grateful that I was able to post that while that's happened to me, it didn't happen when the Reverend Dr. Sally Burton was preaching at Bloom in the Desert Ministries. In fact, I think we had more people come because at 113 last Sunday, it was our biggest Sunday for, I think, almost a year. There might have been something in last fall or early winter that might have been about the same. But, it was the biggest this year. so far, and since Easter is late, it's probably going to be bigger than our Easter was. So it was a great Sunday at Bloom. And recently we had our retreat for leadership after the election of officers and ministry coordinators and so forth. And that was a wonderful thing that I think I've talked about before. But what we had just last Friday was that members of Pastor Parrish and our officers got together and we reviewed the results of the membership survey that our congregation participated in via SurveyMonkey, a few weeks at the beginning of the year. Pastor Parrish is responsible for doing that once a year, and the results were in, and so we sat down and went through them and looked at that. One of the things I simply want to say, Megan Cassette has written a paragraph that's in Bloom Notes, so please take a look at that. But one of the things that did come up, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but is that every once in a while there will be someone who will make a comment, why do we do this when we should be doing that? Or why are we focusing here when we should be focusing there? Why do we do this when that is important? And the thing that I talked about in that meeting when we read that and talked about that was something that I've shared with people before and something that I've learned as I've been working on my dissertation. And that's that in order for congregations to thrive, we have to, it's called manage the polarities, which means it's never this and that, it's this and that. And that we learn congregations that thrive have the ability to look at things in a balance so that it isn't evangelism versus small groups. It isn't going outside versus serving inside. It is going outside, serving outside and serving inside. That's the managing of polarities. And this book that is a part of my dissertation talks about the 8 keys for thriving faith communities. And it's something that I have shared with our open leadership team. And it is something that I think we're going to review again because it's important for us all to know that sort of thing. Maybe someday in the future I'll do a Bloom Tube just on that. Anyway, look forward to seeing some of the, a brief narrative about the survey in Bloom Notes that Megan Cassette has provided to us. So this Sunday, March 31st, 5th Sunday, we're looking forward to Doug Holder bringing our music. This week on the 5th Sunday, I'll be preaching. It's 4th Sunday in Lent, I think. And we'll look forward to singing and praying and being together and spending some hospitality time and enjoying a Sunday morning in Lent and being aware of what happened to the prodigal son. Hope you can be with us. If you can't be with us in body, please be with us in spirit. And as always, please keep us in your prayers.